What is up, ladies and gents? It's Noah, coming back at you with another Terraria tutorial. It's been a minute since I have come out with a video, I know, but here I am creating content for the Terraria community to inform you about the best weapons and stuff in the game. I know I've been pretty busy with school and trying to balance homework and videos, but here I am, coming out with another video. I'm really excited. Hope you guys are too. And I can't promise consistent videos, but I'm going to try. Thank you, Saucy Symes, for the outro music. Check that out when you're done with the video. If you guys don't watch the whole video, then skip to the outro and listen to that awesome music. You can check out Saucy Symes at YouTube, SoundCloud, and I think Twitter. Pretty awesome. A few notes to begin. Events are actually events, where tons of enemies spawn and they attack you, wanting to kill you, but they also drop stuff, which is pretty cool. You can either craft event summoning items, or they can just happen randomly. There are some that actually, they happen randomly and you can craft them. There's a lot of them actually. So, one more thing, some events will not be included because they do not drop weapons, even if they drop materials that make weapons. Sorry about that, just not going to include them if they don't drop weapons. Alright, let's get right into it. The first event that I'm going to be telling you guys about and the weapons that drop from it is the Blood Moon, which is a completely random event with hard mode versions. It happens at night, it is random, you can't really summon it, you can't summon it at all. So just happens at night. Zombies can open doors during this, so be careful about that. Let's just get right into it. The Banana Ring. The first weapon I'm going to be telling you guys how to get, but it is a hard mode weapon. So you're going to have to wait a little bit before you can get this. These stack to 10, so you can throw 10 of these. Really cool. The damage is 55, and it's dropped from clowns in hard mode. You can get throwing knives. Woo! Next up is the Slap Hand, which is a really cool weapon because it has insane knockback. 35 damage, excuse me. And look at that, so much knockback, it's crazy. It's purchased from the Skeleton Merchant during the Blood Moon, which I think he spawns underground. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he does. Next is the Goblin Invasion, which can happen randomly as you progress in the game, pre-hard mode, excuse me. Or you can go to the outer, I think, 1/3 of the world, and get Tattered Cloth, and you can make the Goblin Battle Standard and summon the Goblin Invasion. First weapon that I'm going to be telling you guys how to get from that is the Harpoon, which does 25 damage and isn't really that good. Sorry if my opinion offends you. I mean, it's okay for pre-hard mode bosses, but you can get spiky balls from pretty much everything in the Invasion, or you can buy them from the Tinker, which you can get after the Goblin Invasion. Yay. The Shadowflame Hextall can only be dropped in hard mode from the Goblin Summoner, which makes the Goblin Invasion worth revisiting. Anyways, it does 40 damage, it inflicts the Shadowflamed debuff. It's very cool. I mean, just look at that. That is super cool. Like tentacles coming out. Oops. And it drops from the Goblin Summoner. I already said that. Alright, next is the Shadowflame knife, excuse me, not that one. And once again, it drops in hard mode from the Goblin Summoner. As with the next one, it does 38 damage. It auto-fires. It's infinite. It doesn't run out. It doesn't consume mana. It inflicts the Shadowflame debuff, and it ricochets twice off of enemies. So let's check this out. Pretty cool. It actually ricochets. Next is the Shadowflame Blow, which does 47 damage, converts arrows into Shadowflame arrows. So let's check this out. It pierces 3 enemies, and it inflicts the Shadowflame debuff, as you can see. Drops from the Goblin Summoner once again. The Nimbus Rod drops from the Rain event. It does 36 damage, and it drops from Angry Nimbuses. Yep. The Frost Staff drops from the Blizzard and the Snow biome, and it does 46 damage. It pierces 1 enemy. It drops from Icy Merman, Ice Elemental, and Ice Golem during the Blizzard. The Slime Rain is another completely random event, and the Slime Staff drops from it. Pretty cool. It can also drop from any slime. The Slime Gun is not included because it does no damage. The Old One's Army is not included because I already have a video about that. Go check it out. Alright, we're getting into the Solar Eclipse. A solar eclipse occurs rarely after one mechanical boss has been defeated. It can also be summoned, but we aren't going to get into that. So, first one on the list, the Death Sickle does 57 damage. Auto swings, Shoots projectiles that can go through walls, which is really cool. Pierces near infinite enemies and hits 5 times. Overpowered. Dropped from Reaper. Butcher's Chainsaw. The damage is 127, and it drops from the Butcher, which only spawns after Plantera. After you've defeated Plantera. Deadly Saphir Staff, which does 50 damage, and is dropped from the Deadly Saphir, which only spawns post-Plantera. Toxic Flask does 46 damage and is dropped from Dr. Manfly, who spawns post-Plantera. The Terrorblade, True Knight's Edge, and the True Excalibur can all be crafted using the Broken Hero Sword, which is dropped by certain enemies during the solar eclipse. The Eye of Cthulhu, which is a yo-yo, does 115 damage, has infinite spin, and stays in the air, that's what it means. It has a 25% chance to drop from Mothron, who spawns post-Plantera. The Nail Gun does 85 damage, requires nails as ammo, and is dropped from Nailhead, who spawns in post-Plantera. The Psycho Knife does 70 damage, and if you stand still, it turns you invisible, and if you stay standing still, you can go up to 280 damage with this thing, when still for a certain amount of time. It drops from the Psycho, and the Psycho spawns post-Plantera. The Pirate Invasion can occur randomly when in hard mode. At least one altar has to be destroyed, though. One Demon Altar, one Crimson Altar. And you have to have at least 200 health. Can be spawned using a pirate map, which you can get from pretty much any enemy in the ocean biome. The Coin Gun. That is the first one, and it is a really good one. It depends on what coins you have. Yes, it uses money as ammo. Copper does 25 damage, silver does 50, gold does 100, and platinum does a whopping 200 damage. That is a lot when it's going this fast. That's a lot of damage. Most damage I think you can get in the game with a gun that goes this fast. I may be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure. Best gun in the game if using platinum, as all of the weapons listed in Pirate Invasion drops from all enemies except the Parrot. The Cutlass does 49 damage. It's super fast. The Pirate Staff does 40 damage. Look at him go. Next up is the Pumpkin Moon, a wave-based event similar to the Frost Moon, but easier. It can be summoned with the Pumpkin Moon Medallion at night, which can only be crafted with materials that come from hard mode, so you're going to have to be in hard mode to actually summon this event. Alright, first weapon that I'm going to be telling you guys how to get on this event. I know I say that a lot. I'm going to be telling you guys how to get. I guess it's a trademark of Nether River. Anyways, what I'm going to be telling you guys how to get is the Stake Launcher, which does 75 damage, and it pierces through 10 enemies. That is great for crowds, great for events like the Pumpkin Moon or the Frost Moon, great for stuff like that. It drops from the morning wood along with the stakes required to actually shoot it, which that's what they look like. You can also buy them from the arms dealer and the witch doctor when the stake launcher is in your inventory. Next is the Horseman's Blade, which does 75 damage and creates homing projectiles when an enemy is hit. Good for farms, really good for them. And it's dropped from Pumpkin. You can go see really good YouTubers make great farms with this. It's really cool. The Raven Staff does 37 damage and it's dropped from Pumpkin. The Bat Scepter does 45 damage and it shoots homing bats. It's dropped from Pumpkin. Not homing too well. The Candy Corn Rifle does 44 damage and fires candy corn, which is dropped from Pumpkin along with the weapon. Can buy candy corn from arms dealer and I think, yeah, just the arms dealer when the gun is in your inventory. Next is the Jack-o'-lantern, which does 65 damage, and it's dropped from Pumpkin. Explosive Jack-o'-lanterns is its ammo, and it can be bought by arms dealer when weapon is in inventory. It also bounces a lot. I mean, look at that. That's a lot of bouncing. Jeez. Next is the Frost Moon, which is a wave-based event similar to the Pumpkin Moon, but it's harder, and therefore it has better weapons. It can be summoned with the Naughty Present at night, which can only be, once again, crafted with items attainable in hard mode. First weapon in this list is the Christmas Tree Sword, which does 86 damage, 73 on console, and fires ornament projectiles. It drops from Everscreams. Next is the Razor Pine, which does 48 damage on PC, excuse me, but does actually 58 on console, so that's a lot more. Dropped by Everscreams. Next is the Elf Melter, which does 40 damage and uses 2 gel per click, which that's the ammo, gel. And it's dropped by Santa NK1. It's a pretty cool design on the back. Next is the Chain Gun, which is my personal favorite out of all event weapons, which some would think, like, Some of the other event weapons in the Martian Madness or the Frost Moon would be better, but this is my favorite out of all of them. It's really good with the chlorophyte bullets, and especially when I play with my ranged character, which I love because he just brings down bosses super quick. The chain gun does 31 damage and has a 50% chance not to consume ammo. That's really, really good. But it can be inaccurate. This can be amended by using chlorophyte bullets because they seek enemies, and it also makes this weapon very powerful when you're using that because it never misses if you get it within a close enough range. It's dropped by Santa in K1. I use this thing to defeat the Moon Lord. It's really good. Next is the Blizzard Staff, which does 58 damage and is dropped from the Ice Queen. Yep, that's working well. The North Pole does 73 damage, but it uses no mana, and it looks like kind of like a magic weapon, but it's not. It essentially carpet bombs an area with these snowflakes. It's really cool, great for events, and it's dropped from the Ice Queen. Last boss in the Frost Moon event. The Snowman Cannon does 67 damage and is dropped by the Ice Queen. Next is the Martian Madness, which is triggered by a Martian probe which spawns in the outer 2/3 of the world, and when it detects a player, it tries to escape. If the probe escapes or is allowed to escape, the Martian Madness event will start. You must go to the spawn point for them to actually spawn. So they're not going to spawn if you're like out in the outer, what did I say, third of the world. You actually have to go to the spawn point. The first out of these is the laser machine gun, which is a mana weapon, and it's really cool. It does 60 damage. Check this out. That is some really cool stuff. Dropped by Martian Saucer. Next is the Zeno Popper, which does 45 damage and is dropped by the Martian Saucer. Basically an upgraded shotgun. The Zeno Staff does 36 damage and is dropped once again by the Martian Saucer. The Electrosphere Launcher, wow, what a mouthful, does 40 damage, forms an energy ball that does continuous damage. Wow. And it is dropped by the Martian Saucer. This is a really cool one. I'm using actual normal rockets right now, and it's making these really cool Electrosphere thingies. Next is the Charged Blaster Cannon, which does 52 damage and has 3 different firing attacks. So we're going to spend a little bit more time on this. A single tap does a single little attack, and if you hold it for 1 second, it does a larger attack. See that huge orb? And if you hold it for more than 3 seconds, it fires a large, solid beam with infinite piercing and repeated hitting. Lasts until mana runs out or player releases attack button. Wow, that is really cool. Reminds me of Mega Man's hand cannon. The Influx Waver does 110 damage, and it fires projectiles that returns up to 2 times to hit enemies. Whoa, to hit enemy that was damaged. Dropped from Martian Saucer. You see, it actually like homes in on the character. I killed that really quick. There's the Slime Staff. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you've watched to the end of this video, kudos to you. It's a pretty long one, and you stuck with it. I'm glad you did. I'm glad that you could experience all these weapons with me. Thank you. Thank you so much, once again, Saucy Symes, for the outro music. Check it out, guys. It's really cool, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.
Too much sauce!